Finally, the Thunder God has come back! Well, actually, wait a minute. I second that. Alright, so, just by that intro, I think you know where I'm going to be going with this one. Tomorrow, we're going to have, how would you put this? What many consider to be one of the biggest nights in wrestling history. Yes, folks, this is a wrestling vlog. If you don't like it, well, you could stop watching right now, or you could just continue to listen like I say. Tomorrow night, it is WrestleMania 28. That's right. The WrestleMania franchise has reached 28 years. You know, it's actually hard to believe because today it was 25 years ago that we saw WrestleMania 3, which pretty much spelled the end of the territory system. You know, the night that Hulk body slammed Andre, the Macho Man, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat Intercontinental title match. That was a really good one, too. But WrestleMania this year is going to be, I don't know. I'm having my doubts about it right now, folks. I mean, just looking at the matches that are going to be happening, it really seems like it's going to be a weak card. And I know there are going to be a lot of people, hell, people that will watch us that are part of the IWC will probably go, oh, you're just saying that because you're a fan of the other companies. No, I just watch wrestling in general, okay? Once again, I'll say that. I watch wrestling in general. Alright. I feel, though, that all companies have good points, all companies have weak points. And this year's WrestleMania is more of a weak point for WWE than it will be for the other 27 ones. I mean, yes, there have been good WrestleManias, questionable WrestleManias, and shitty WrestleManias. I think this is going to be one of the shitty ones. I mean, let's start out. Pre-show, every year they have a match. Usually it's a battle royal. Would not shock me if the tag match turned into a battle royal again. I mean, hell, after all, we saw Sheamus and Daniel Bryan last year turn to a battle royal. That was kind of messed up. But the tag match, I really don't see any need for it. I mean, you got the Cologne Cousins, Epco Primo, the Usos, and Justin Tyson Kid. I really think it's going to be a match not even worth watching, which is why they put it on WWE.com and on their YouTube channel for tomorrow instead of putting it in the actual pay-per-view. Really think that's going to be a really bad match. Alright, where to start on the actual pay-per-view lineup itself, the 8 matches. Well, apparently, in my opinion, the match that's actually going to be worth watching is actually going to be the match that opens the show up. CM Punk, Chris Jericho. If anything, they should have, I don't know, I'm just throwing this one out. Randy Orton and Kane start the show. That match is going to be iffy. I mean, you can barely get a 5-star performance out of Kane anyways. But, hell, why not even put Kelly and Maria how the fuck do you pronounce her name? Maria Menstruation Meningite, whatever the hell you pronounce her name, against Beth Phoenix and Eve Torres. That match is going to be crappy anyways. Mainly because WWE doesn't give women's wrestling a chance, and they only limit them to 2-minute matches on pay-per-views, 45 seconds on Raw and SmackDown. That match should not even be on the card right there. That's one strike that's going to be against them. But back to the match that's going to open up the show, CM Punk vs. Jericho. That's probably going to be the match worth watching. It's going to be pretty good. Honestly, my feeling is we're going to see CM Punk over Jericho, which will be good for business because we need champions that actually have long reigns instead of switching titles back and forth every 3-4 weeks. But that match should not even be a first match on the show. That should be, if anything, maybe right before the main event, if anything, 2-3 matches before. You got Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus, a match that actually should have happened last year, but like I said at the beginning of this, it turned into a battle royal. It was on the show, then it got moved to the pre-show. Then they changed that match into a battle royal at the last second, which was pointless. I mean, hell, they decided to give God knows how many minutes to The Rock for backstage segments last year when they could have had that match on there. Disappointing in the fact that, I don't know, was the second year in a row that the Royal Rumble winner has not been in the main event at WrestleMania. I mean, that was the whole point of, the Royal Rumble before in the first place, so now they're changing it around after all these years, and it's kind of pathetic, but I personally see Sheamus taking the belt off Daniel Bryan, with Daniel's supposed girlfriend AJ turning on him. Somehow, possibly helping Sheamus win. Could happen. Mentioned Randy Orton and Kane on the card. It's going to suck. I'm just going to say that right now. Orton might have a good feel with the crowd. He might be, the kind of guy that can get over. But when you're facing a monster like Kane, who really you can barely get a good match out of anyways, it's not going to be that good of a match right there. I'm just going to say it. If it's more than 6, 7, 8 minutes, audience is going to go to sleep. You got Cody Rhodes versus Big Show. I'm saying right now Big Show is going to take the Intercontinental title because, once again, they're going to drop the ball. It should have been Cody Rhodes versus his brother Dustin, a.k.a. Goldust. That's what people wanted to see, but instead they decided to scrap that and go for this one. I don't know why. But it's probably going to be a quick one because Rhodes has held the Intercontinental belt since, April, May. Alright, I'm skipping the women's match because you all know my feeling on the women's wrestling scene in WWE. To them, it doesn't matter, and it's a waste of time, so I'm not going to bother wasting my time giving my thoughts on that. The other waste of time match, the 12-man tag team match. Now, if you remember, last year there was an 8-man tag. You had the Core versus, I think it was Big Show, Kane, Kofi Kingston, and then there was another guy, and that lasted all of, 90 seconds, which was a waste of an 8-man tag, if you ask me. But when you look at, you got Santino Marella, R-Truth, Kofi Kingston, Zack Ryder, Great Khali, and Booker T. Booker T. Yes, he's back in the ring again. I'm shocked, but hopefully this is going to be the last time we see Booker T. He's been in the business how long? Against a team captained by Johnny Ace himself. John, what is that nickname I usually have for him? Marty Funkhauser Laurinaitis. You got David Otunga, who shouldn't be at a WrestleMania, period, because he sucks balls. Mark Henry, Dolph Ziggler, Jack Swagger, The Miz, and Drew McIntyre. That's going to be a really quick match, I have a feeling. Once again, WWE not knowing what to do with anything that's not a one-on-one matchup. I hate to say it, that's going to be a 4-minute matchup. If Team Johnny wins, it'll probably be Mark Henry. But if shockingly Team Teddy does win, I don't know what to say about that, but mainly it looks like the Job Squad facing the Mid-Card Mafia on SmackDown. That's my opinion. Which leaves us to the last 2 matches of the night. We're going to see Undertaker and Triple H once again. This year it'll be Hell in a Cell, and Shawn Michaels will be the referee. Now, for any wrestling fan, you know the whole undefeated streak for The Undertaker at WrestleMania is the most storied, the most ancient, the most fabled storyline in the industry. I hate to say it, but I smell a rat here. Now that Triple H is part of the front office, he is probably going to be, knowing him, wanting to be the one that ends the streak. When the entire world knows that you end the WrestleMania streak of The Undertaker, you kill your business right there. Not to mention you put Shawn Michaels in as a referee. That right there screams screw job. My opinion. Main event, though, should not be the main event. That's right. Something like CM Punk vs. Jericho or Daniel Bryan Sheamus should be, because they're the top 2 belts and they're the title matches. But of course, being at WrestleMania, we have to see John Cena once again in the main event. Jizzing in the hands of the female teenage crowd and all the 10-year-olds, like Vince McMahon has always done. And he is going up against The Rock, a guy who has not wrestled a full schedule since 2002, 2003. Let's see. The main event features a guy who's been in WWE for 10 years who only knows 5 moves, and the only thing he can do is cut a promo, which has been the same promo for 10 years. Taking on a guy who was a great promo guy, a great storyline person, but was, I won't say mediocre in the ring, but he was good, not phenomenal. It's not going to be the match everybody thinks it's going to be. You guys want to see a main event. You guys want to see something that's going to be good. I hate to say it, but John Cena, The Rock, is going to disappoint. IWC Smarks, go ahead and rip on me all you want. I don't give a shit. This is what I feel. It's going to be a horrible matchup. This year's WrestleMania won't be the best one. I said it before and I'll say it again. It's been built up horribly, only building up John Cena and The Rock, while the rest get minimum to no build up at all. Not really my opinion of a good WrestleMania. And now the fact that they're going to be announcing the main event the night after this one, for next year's, the night after this one, really puts a damper on WrestleMania. Vince, you really need to rethink the whole WrestleMania concept and go back to basics, because basically this is probably going to be one of the worst ones you put on in years. That's my opinion. I am out, guys. I'll see you later.